Good evening. So far, we completed all the events which occurred during meiosis 1. Now, the remaining part is what are the events by means of which two cells produced at the end of meiosis 1 going to produce four cells, a tetrad. Okay. So, at the end of meiosis 1, completion of meiosis 1, at the end of meiosis 1, each chromosome is like this. One centromere with two chromatids and each one with one DNA molecule. So out of three events which are required for the division of one chromosome into two daughter chromosomes, two events completed during meiosis 1. What are those two events? One is DNA replication and chromatid division. Here pending one is a division of centromere is pending. So during meiosis 2, the centromere is subjected to division and that leads to what formation of daughter chromosomes. So meiosis 2 is a type of mitosis only. Reason during meiosis 2, there is no genetic recombination, and no reduction of chromosome number, just doubling of cells only. Okay. So first event is in your textbook, interkinesis is given. Okay, so interkinesis is nothing but is equal to interphase 2. Okay, so what are the events present in interphase 2 or interkinesis? G1. During G1, continuation of protein formation or synthesis, RNA formation, same events, copy paste. G2 also continuation of protein. No S phase is not required. Reason only.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
One. Yeah, breaking means ఇది disconnect connect అవుతున్నది ఎందుకు? Are you getting now?
Yes, sir.
అంటే ఈ బ్లూటూత్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది ఒక్కోసారి. ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ టు దిస్ వన్. కానీ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయ్యమంటే రీకనెక్ట్ అవుద్దమ్మా, ప్రాబ్లం కాదులే. నాకు ఇంటిమేషన్ ఉంటుంది, అప్పుడు ఆపేస్తాను, రీకనెక్ట్ కానీ మళ్ళీ టీచ్ చేస్తాను. ఓకేనా? So interkinesis is equal to interphase 2 with G1 and G2. No S phase. And here under the heading interkinesis, given statement is chromosomes are not completely extended state. Okay, so chromosomes are not completely extended state, means not completely decondensed into chromatin, little bit decondensed. So there is no complete dispersion of chromosome into chromatin is given. What is the meaning of that one? Simple thing. It is not completely decondensed into chromatin. A little bit decondensed. It remains as a chromosome only. So it is a given statement in your textbook. So what is the meaning of that one? Chromosomes are little bit little bit decondensed. Reason here, during interphase compulsory chromosome should be in chromatin form only, should not be in chromosome form, should be completely decondensed into chromatin thread like. As chromosome division is pending, here complete decondensation of chromosome into chromatin is not required. So that's why little bit decondensed. Okay. So that is about phase 2 or interkinesis. And next one, what about division phase? Division phase 2. So in division phase 2, first one is karyokinesis. Second, karyokinesis. So in that second karyokinesis, first phase is prophase 1. Prophase 2, sorry. Prophase 2. So here chromosome is completely condensed. Here it is little bit decondensed or not. For example, 10% decondensed. Now 10% decondensed, 10% condensed. So here 10% decondensed. Same 10% here it is condensed into complete chromosome. So chromosomes are condensed. Okay, next. Disappearance or dissolution. Disappearance of nuclear envelope and nucleolus. Nuclear envelope. Lakpati, what happened? Disappearance of nuclear envelope and nucleolus. Now chromosomes are randomly distributed within the cell. For example, this is the cell at the end of prophase 2. So this is a cell 1. Cell 1, cell 2, dyad of cells. Okay, so nuclear membrane, nucleolus disappeared. Now chromosomes are randomly distributed within the protoplasm as there is no nuclear membrane. Boundary is absent, randomly distributed. So prophase 2 completed. Next, metaphase. So first diagram I'm giving. Okay, 2 cells. Now formation of bipolar spindle apparatus. Spindle apparatus 1, 2. 2 cells, 2. Okay. Now chromosomes are aligned at the equator. Okay, so chromosome plate 1, chromosome plate 2. Spindle apparatus 1, spindle apparatus 2. Okay, so now attachment of microtubules to kinetochores. So during metaphase 2, microtubules are attached to both the kinetochores. This side and this side, this side. Okay, So what about the events during metaphase? First one, formation of bipolar spindle apparatus. Next, attachment of microtubules. Yeah, before this one, alignment of chromosomes. Right. Second event, formation of chromosome plate. I'm taking equatorial plate. Equatorial plate is nothing but systematic alignment of chromosomes at the equator. That is called as equatorial plate, metaphase plate, chromosome plate. Third event, now attachment of microtubules to the kinetochore. Okay, so that is about metaphase 2. And here very important thing is, at the time of metaphase 1, what about the formation of microtubules? For example, here I'm taking this one. This is the cell at metaphase 1. Okay, so spindle apparatus. Here it is a vertically arranged. Spindle apparatus is vertical. Here it is horizontal. So what is the angle between this one and these two? 90 degrees. Okay, so the angle between spindle apparatus produced during metaphase 1 to the metaphase 2 is 90 degrees. This one vertically arranged. But what about this one horizontally arranged? Vertical, horizontal. So what is the angle between these two? 90 degrees, perpendicular. Okay, so the angle between spindle apparatus produced during metaphase 1 and metaphase 2 is perpendicular 90 degrees. Okay, right? And during metaphase 1, how many spindle apparati? 1. Here, 1, 2. 1:2 ratio. Total number of spindle apparati produced 1 plus 2. During meiosis 1 spindle apparatus, now 2. 1 plus 2. 3 are the meiotic spindle apparati produced during meiosis, overall meiosis. Okay, and chromosome plates also. Here 1 chromosome plate, 2, 3. Total number of chromosome plates 3. So ratio between chromosome plate and so-called spindle apparatus is 1:1 ratio. And one more difference, during metaphase 1, microtubules are attached to kinetochore towards one side only. But here they are attached to kinetochore on both the sides. At the time of metaphase 1, just chromosomes present in a bivalent separated from each other, and there is no division of centromere. But here, as microtubules are attached to so-called kinetochores, both the kinetochores compulsory, during anaphase 2, division of centromere is mandatory. Okay, is it clear? Any objection? That is about metaphase 2. Is it clear? Right? Copy that one. After metaphase 2, I will go for anaphase 2. Copy it, please. Okay, right? Now I'm erasing the board. Completed or not? Shall I erase the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So metaphase 2, now it is anaphase 2. Okay, so here two movement of microtubules completed. Two movement means extended towards center. Now contraction. So here I'm taking cells initially. Contraction of microtubules. Because of contraction of microtubules, what happened to centromere? Centromere divided. Centromere 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 doubled here. And this one is chromatid. Chromatid. Centromere is ahead towards poles and chromatid ends are towards equator. So now what about the total number of centromeres or total number of chromosomes here? Here, wait. N number of chromosomes 2, N number of chromosomes 2, N number of chromosomes 2. So total number of chromosomes, how many chromosomes now? 8 chromosomes. Okay. So first one, contraction of microtubules towards poles. Contraction of microtubules towards poles. Okay. Because of that, contracting microtubules exert pressure, create pressure. Exert means create. Exert pressure on centromere. So because of contraction of microtubules, some pressure is exerted on the centromere. So once pressure is exerted, what about the fate of a centromere? Now centromere divides into two daughter centromeres. So because of division of centromere into two daughter centromeres, daughter chromosomes are produced. Daughter chromosomes are produced and pulled towards pull towards opposite poles. Okay, so that is a anaphase 2. Now telophase 2. Next one, telophase 2. Okay, so during telophase 2, what are the events? Complete contraction of microtubules. Because of that, daughter chromosomes are arrived at the equator. Okay, so daughter chromosome 1, daughter chromosome 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So first one, complete contraction of microtubules. Because of that, daughter chromosomes are arrived at poles. So first event, complete contraction of microtubules. Microtubules are completely contracted. So because of that, chromosomes are arrived. Because of that, daughter chromosomes reached poles, opposite poles. Third event, reappearance of nuclear envelope and nucleolus. So third event, reappearance of nuclear envelope and nucleolus. Last event, decondensation complete. Decondensation of chromosomes to chromatin. Now it is chromatin. So finally, what about the number of daughter nuclei? Here, how many daughter nuclei? 4 daughter nuclei. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 daughter nuclei are produced. Okay, 4 daughter nuclei produced. So that is about telophase 2. Copy it. Anaphase 2 and telophase 2. Copy it. Completed. Okay. Now I am arranging the board.
Okay, sir.
Sir, spotlight on.
Now it is gone, I think. Okay, now last one, cytokinesis 2. Okay, cytokinesis 2. So at the end of telophase 2, these are the cells and nucleus, 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 nucleus. Okay, per nucleus, how many chromosomes? Two, 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 two. At each pole of each cell, two chromosomes are present. Overall dyad of a cells at each pole, 2 plus 2, 4 chromosomes are present. Okay, right? So now, by means of either cell plate, copy paste, cell plate method or constriction method, we discussed this one at the time of mitosis. Same, paste, copy paste. Either constriction method or cell plate method. Cell plate method in the case of plants, and in the case of animals, constriction method. So ultimately, because of cytokinesis, 4 cells are produced. Nucleus, 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 nucleus. So it is a tetrad. Here also same. Tetrad. Okay, so how many tetrads? One tetrad only. Okay, right. So that is about complete meiosis. And here, very, very important thing. For example, this is the meiocyte in which we studied meiotic division. In this case, what about the 2n chromosome number 4 we considered? We took 4 chromosomes. Okay, so at the end of meiosis 1, 2 cells are produced, dyad of cells. Haploid number of chromosomes 2, haploid number of chromosomes 2. Okay, so meiosis 1. For example, this one is with AA type of genotype, for example. This one with AB and this one with AC, for example only. And meiosis to second part. Here, 4 cells are produced. Just doubling of these two. Tetrad. Okay, so here number of chromosomes 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, that is tetrad. And here these two AB cells, AB cells, AC, AC cells. So this one is a dyad. Dyad convert into tetrad. Okay, so this division is heterotypic. Heterotypic. Reason, both the daughter cells are genetically different and the chromosome number also different from mother cell. And what about meiosis to homotypic? One type of mitosis. AB into AB, AC into AC. Okay. So in this tetrad, what about the total number of cells? 1, 2, 3, 4 cells. Collectively called as one tetrad. In this tetrad, according to number of chromosomes present in the mother, what about the number of chromosomes here? 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8 chromosomes. Okay. So that is about all the events which are taking place in the germ cell to produce spores or gametes. Okay, copy it. Okay, completed. Okay, now I'm erasing the board. Okay, right? Anybody please respond.
Okay, sir.
Now last one, significance. What about the importance of meiosis? Okay, so what is the importance of meiosis? So first one, crossing over. Crossing over takes place during meiosis 1, particularly during Packetin stage. Crossing over leads to what? Genetic recombinations. Genetic recombinations. So genetic recombinations leads to what? Variations. Variation means differences. Okay, sibling of a family, are they 100% similar? No, still some dissimilarities are there. Still we are able to distinguish both the kids coming from same parents. Okay, 2 kids or 4 kids or 5 kids, whatever the number present in a family, are they 100% similar? No, some variations are present. That is because of genetic recombinations taking place at the time of meiosis. So, so-called variations. That variation leads to what? Variations leads to what? Evolution of a species. So that leads to what? Evolution. Evolution of species. Evolution of a species. Okay. Right. Next, the second one. Constant chromosome number or same chromosome number. Same chromosome number from generation to from one generation to from generation to generation, from one generation to next generation, from generation to generation of a particular species. Same chromosome number, constant chromosome number from generation to generation of a species is maintained by meiosis. Third one, during meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half. Chromosome number is reduced to half of the mother. Okay, so here given statements, same chromosome number generation to generation and reduced to half. These two are contrasting or not? Okay, so fourth statement, chromosome number reduced to half. These two are contrasting. What is that contrasting? Chromosome number is reduced to half and constant chromosome number is maintained by. Both are contrasting or not? So chromosome number reduced to half and constant chromosome number. Constant chromosome number from generation to generation number is maintained by meiosis. Okay, both are taking place. How meiosis is able to maintain constant chromosome number, even though it is able to reduce chromosome number exactly half? That is the question you have to discuss. In your textbook, given statement per C, of course, this is correct. This is very, very per C. Yes, of course, that is true. That is true. Paradoxically contrasting. Paradoxical means contrasting. Per se means of course, perhaps, bahusha. Yes, that is true. Paradoxically contrasting. But that is 100% true. What is that 100% true? These two statements are correct. Reduced to half, chromosome number is maintained by meiosis. That is true. Per se, paradoxically, that is true. They are explaining how. So how that meiosis is able to regulate a constant chromosome number from generation to generation. Only meiosis, fetulation also involved. Okay, so here the question is, which one is able to maintain constant chromosome number, whether it is meiosis or fetulation? Which one? Fetulation is able to restore a ploidy, that is correct. But how to understand this statement? As meiosis is concerned with chromosome number reduction to half, how that meiosis is able to maintain constant chromosome number? That is the question or not? Okay, so out of meiosis and fetulation, which one is able to maintain constant chromosome number? How to understand that question? So the question is, which one is able to maintain constant chromosome number? Meiosis or fetulation? Reason, during fetulation, chromosome number is restored or not? Male gamete, female gamete, haploid into zygote, chromosome number is maintained. But in your textbook, what was the given statement? Meiosis is able to maintain constant chromosome number. So how to support that statement? Take a life cycle, for example. Take life cycle, gametophyte. Gametophyte. So here main phase is gametophyte. And what about the ploidy of this one? Haploid. Next generation must be haploid or not? Yeah, here gametes produced. Fetulation. Haploid. So fetulation between male and female gametes. Diploid zygote produced. Zygote diploid 2n. Now meiosis. For example, here I'm taking meiosis. And haploid spores. Spores are haploid. Okay, haploid spores produced. Now spore germinates into gametophyte. So what about the ploidy of spore? Haploid. Gametophyte, haploid. Restored or not? So now the question is whether it is meiosis or fetulation. Which one is able to maintain constant chromosome number? So here in this case, both meiosis, both are present. Meiosis present, fetillation present, both are present. So on the basis of this, we can't judge whether it is a meiosis or fetillation. Which one is the correct one? So now take next one here. Same life cycle, gametophyte, haploid. From this one, haploid gametes are produced. Gametes are haploid. And fetillation between those gametes. Okay, zygote produced. Zygote is a diploid. Fetillation present, but no meiosis. Instead of meiosis, here it is mitosis. Mitosis, embryo formation, embryo into gametophyte. What about the ploidy of next generation? 2n, according to this one. So 2n is produced. But what about the requirement? Haploid. Instead of haploid, diploid is produced. Here fetillation present, but no meiosis. No meiosis. In this life cycle, no meiosis. Meiosis absent, whatever the reason, no meiosis. So here constant chromosome number is not maintained. See, what about the chromosome number in the gametophyte? Haploid. Wait, please. I'm giving dummy example to understand the concept. Okay, gametophyte is haploid. But what about the next generation? Diploid. Compulsory here requirement is haploid only, but diploid producer. Reason? Lack of meiosis. No meiosis, but fetillation present. So which one is able to maintain same chromosome number? Definitely meiosis only, but not fetillation. Okay, is it clear? Copy this one.
Sir.
The question is, out of fetillation and meiosis, which one is able to maintain constant chromosome number in a species? According to first flow chart life cycle, we can't decide is it only meiosis or fetillation. Confusion. Most of the people they may support fetillation. No, it's wrong one. According to that one, see fetillation present but no meiosis. But what about the next generation gametophyte? Diploid. Basically parent haploid. For example, in all human beings, whoever it is, KCR or Modi or Bill Clinton or some other, or a terrorist, American or Indian or Anglo-Indian or whoever it is. What about the 2n chromosome number? 46 or not? Usually. Okay. So that constant chromosome number from generation to generation in all human beings is maintained by meiosis. Okay. Even Trump also having same chromosome number. 2n chromosome number is 46, 23 pairs. Abnormalities are present. Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome. One additional chromosome or one pair of chromosomes or one minus chromosome. That is abnormality. Genetically related diseases concerned one. But in general, under hygienic conditions, normal conditions, under normal conditions, there is no change in the chromosome number because of meiosis, not because of fetillation. Okay, copy it.
Sir, once repeat the questions.
Yeah, the question is, in a species, for example, take human beings. In all human beings, 2n chromosome number is, diploid chromosome number is 43 pairs or not? 43 chromosomes or not? 23 pairs or not? All human beings are having diploid chromosome number 23 pairs or 46 only. Is there any change in the ploidy of human being? No, always diploid. From generation to generation, diploid chromosome number is maintained by meiosis. The question is, out of meiosis and fetillation, which one is able to maintain constant chromosome number? In your textbook, given statement per se, of course, paradoxically contrasting. What is that contrasting? Meiosis is able to reduce chromosome number exactly half of the parent and able to maintain constant chromosome number from generation to generation in a species. How these two statements are correct? Both are contrasting. If both are contrasting, How should we consider meiosis as a division which is able to maintain constant chromosome number from generation to generation? Simply with the help of life cycle, you can understand. First life cycle, gametophyte, haploid, gametes, haploid, fetulation, zygote, diploid. Now meiosis. Spores are produced, spores haploid, okay, developed into gametophyte. So in this life cycle, both are meiosis and fetulation, both are present. Both are present. So both are present. Now, which one maintained constant chromosome number? Whether it is meiosis or fetulation, doubt. So to answer that one, take this one now. Gametophyte, gametes produced, okay, fetulation, zygote, now mitosis. What about the product? Embryo. Next generation, diploid. But basically parent haploid. What about the chromosome number? Doubled or not? Ploid is changed or not? But this type of thing is not taking place in the life cycle of organisms. So according to this flow chart, definitely meiosis is required to maintain constant chromosome number ploidy from generation to generation. Swagat, got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, copy it. And that is about cell biology. Total cell biology completed. Every inch except page number, everything covered. And its weightage in NEET examination is that they are asking 10 bits, 10 into 4, 40 marks. Its weightage according to NEET latest question paper, 2020 question paper. Its weightage is a 10 bits, 10 into 4, 40 marks. Okay, so cell biology completed. And already I forwarded so many assignments for the living world, the unit of life. And second one, biomolecules also. Third one, cell division. I will send cell division assignments. And from Monday onwards, we are going to study about the living world. Diversity in the living world. What is life? What is biological classification? Like that. So out of all the chapters, cell biology is time consuming one and hard one. Biomolecules are present and cell division present. Rest of the area very easy. Okay. So on Monday, we are going to start diversity in the living world. Okay. Is it clear? Copy this one. Copied. Okay. Bye. See you. We will meet on Monday. Right? Copied?
Okay, sir. Bye bye.
No class tomorrow. Tomorrow, no class.